Hello, my name is Jitterz, and in this video I will be going through an in-depth explanation of the mechanics for all of Jett's abilities. Jett's first ability is Tailwind and is binded to E by default. The ability is free and Jett starts each round with 1 charge. You can replenish the ability by getting 2 kills after the ability has been used. When the key is pressed, the ability is activated immediately and Jett dashes in a given direction. The direction that Jett dashes depends on whether or not a movement key is being pressed. If a movement key is pressed, then Jett will dash in that direction. This includes dashing forwards, backwards, sideways, and even diagonally if 2 directional keys are being pressed. If no directional key is being pressed when the ability is activated, then Jett will dash forwards in the direction she's currently facing. While in the dashing animation, Jett is not able to shoot. The window where Jett is unable to shoot while dashing is 1.3 seconds. When Jett dashes, there's a sound cue that can be heard by other players on the map. This sound cue can be heard from about 30 to 40 meters away. Here's a visual to show how far that is. While dashing, Jett is still vulnerable to taking damage, so it is possible to kill her during the dashing animation. When Jett dashes, she ducks her head, so if you're aiming at head level when she dashes towards you, you will miss her completely. You actually have to aim lower towards her chest to actually hit her during the animation. If you dash through an enemy's bullet stream, it is possible to get through without taking any damage, but this seems to be complete RNG. With the Phantom, I seemed to cross gaps where the enemy was firing about 70% of the time, but depending on the fire rate of the gun, this can change. Jett's second ability is Updraft. This ability is binded to Q by default and when pressed will propel Jett upwards into the air. Updraft costs 100 credits per charge and Jett can carry up to 2 charges every round. Updraft propels Jett about 10 meters into the air, which can be useful for getting intel or repositioning. Jett can combine her Updraft with either another Updraft or her dash for even more mobility options. When Q is pressed, Jett will use the ability immediately and start a short animation. This animation lasts 1.2 seconds and just like her dash, Jett is unable to shoot while in this animation. While in the air, Jett's shots will be inaccurate just like if you were to shoot while running or jumping. If you updraft from high ground onto low ground and fall a great enough distance, you will take fall damage assuming you don't use Jett's passive. Speaking of which, Jett is the only character currently in the game that has a passive ability. Jett's passive does not need to be purchased and does not have a limit to how much it can be used. Jett's passive can be activated anytime she's in the air by pressing and holding the spacebar. This will allow Jett to glide in the air, descending much slower than normal. You can tell that you're using Jett's passive by the wind effect on your screen. This passive is very useful for crossing large gaps and setting up in unexpected locations. The passive can also be used when falling from a large height to prevent you from taking any fall damage. Jett's passive can be combined with both of Jett's other abilities for even more mobility. While gliding, Jett is able to shoot at enemies, but just like using her updraft, her shots will be inaccurate. Enemies can hear when you're using your passive to glide as long as they are within 25 meters of your location. Here is a visual to show about how far that is. Jett's next ability is her Cloudburst and is binded to C by default. This ability costs 100 credits per charge and Jett can carry a maximum of 3 charges a round. When the C button is pressed, Jett immediately
Blocking
throws
sight.
the smoke in the direction she's facing. The smoke will continue moving in the direction Jett is facing
Blocking
with a
sight.
slight arc until it hits a solid surface. This includes
Blocking
any
sight.
object on the map, walls,
Blocking sight.
and the ground. Jett can manipulate the location of the smoke by holding down the C
Blocking
key
sight.
and changing the direction you are facing. The smoke will continue to move away from Jett, or you
Blocking
can
sight.
move the smoke either up, down, left,
Blocking sight.
or right by using your mouse. You can see where the smoke is going through walls by using the blue
Blocking
line
sight.
that shows the path that the smoke is taking. After the smoke hits a solid surface, it will stay active for a total of 4.5 seconds before disappearing. Jett's smoke is slightly
Blocking
different than
sight.
Omen's smoke because it is smaller, and unlike Omen's smoke, it is not hollow, so if there are other players in it, it can be difficult to see them. I will leave an annotation on screen if you want to check out the video I made explaining Omen's mechanics. When Jett throws a smoke, she enters an animation that does not end until either
Blocking
you
sight.
let go of the C key or the smoke hits the surface, and you cannot shoot while in this animation. At the shortest, if you smoke directly next to you or only tap the C key, there is a 0.6
Blocking
second
sight.
window where Jett cannot shoot. However, if you hold down the C key, you'll be stuck in the animation
Blocking
for a
sight.
lot longer, and the amount of time depends on how far the smoke travels. At any time, you can let go of the C key, and the smoke will continue on its regular unguided trajectory, and you will be able to
Blocking
shoot
sight.
after a short delay of about half a second. Jett's ultimate is Bladestorm and requires 6 ultimate points. When activated, Jett pulls out knives that she can throw from a distance.
Watch this.
Jett has a total of 5 knives, and when they run out, her ultimate ends.
Watch this.
Each knife does 50 damage to the body and will do 150 damage if it hits the head. If you get a kill using Jett's ultimate, it will replenish all of her knives. Jett's ultimate does not have a timer and will last the entire round if she does not run out of knives. Jett can equip her gun or knife while her ultimate is active. This will not cancel Jett's ultimate, and you can re-equip her knives by pressing the X key again. Jett cannot get an ultimate point towards her next ultimate while her ultimate is still active. This includes if she equips her gun while the ultimate is still active. But if Jett runs out of knives during the round and then gets a kill, it will count towards her next ultimate. There are 2 ways that Jett can throw her knives. By pressing left click, Jett can throw her knives one at a time directly where your crosshair is pointed. By pressing right click, Jett will throw all of her knives at once, doing a large burst of damage. Left click is better for long ranges because it is more accurate when trying to aim at a target. The knives are also perfectly accurate while running and are even accurate in the air while using Jett's passive ability. The right click is better for short ranges. This is because as the enemy gets further from you, the knife spread gets larger. The knives are not hit scan, but are instead a very fast moving projectile. This means that they have a travel time, and in this example you can see that at about 40 meters away it takes 2 frames for the knife to hit the target. In this second clip, where the enemy is about 60 to 70 meters away, it takes 4 frames for the knife to hit the target. The travel time is very insignificant because of how fast the knives travel, so in pretty much all cases you don't really have to worry about it, but it's still cool to know. After shooting the last knife with your left click, there is a short delay of about 1.2 seconds where you pull out your gun and are unable to shoot. Similarly, if you miss your volley without getting a kill, there is also a delay where you cannot shoot for 1.5 seconds. If you happen to hit an enemy with the volley and reset your knives, then this delay is only 0.5 seconds since you don't need to take the time to pull out your gun. Finally, I just wanted to mention that while Jett's ultimate is equipped, she runs at the same speed as an agent holding their knife. Thank you for watching. If you enjoyed the video or learned something new about Jett, please leave a like and subscribe if you want to see more videos like this one.